A small suitcase, a fading photograph, and eyes filled with exhaustion. That's all Rania carried with her when she stepped off the late-night bus. She wasn't running away from home. She was running away from a memory that refused to let her breathe. For 3 years, she gave her heart to a man named Haider, a love she believed would last, a future she thought was certain. But love isn't destroyed in a day. It breaks slowly, piece by piece, until one morning you wake up and realize the person you trusted the most doesn't look at you the same way anymore. It took only 6 words for her world to collapse. I don't feel the same anymore. So Rania left the city where every street, every cafe, every corner reminded her of him. She moved to a quieter town, hoping the silence there could drown the noise in her heart. Her new apartment was empty, cold, and smelled of dust, but for the first time in months, she felt like she could breathe. She spent her days searching for a job and her nights staring at the ceiling, replaying all the things she wished she had said. Some nights she cried, some nights she felt nothing at all. But every night, she hoped life would send her something, someone, to help her forget. It happened on an afternoon when it had just stopped raining. Rania walked into a small bookstore to escape the cold wind. She didn't expect the man behind the counter to notice her trembling hands or the sadness she was trying so hard to hide. His name was Zayan. He wasn't loud, charming, or flirtatious. He was quiet, the kind of quiet that feels safe. The kind that doesn't demand anything from you. When he saw her wiping rainwater from her sleeves, he simply said, "You look like you could use something warm," and handed her a cup of hot chocolate he kept for customers. Rania didn't know why, but she felt tears prick her eyes. Maybe it was the warmth. Maybe it was the gentleness in his tone. Or maybe it was because, for the first time in months, someone saw her pain without her having to explain it. She thanked him, and he simply nodded, as if he understood everything she wasn't saying. That day turned into a routine. Rania began visiting the bookstore every afternoon. Sometimes she sat between shelves, pretending to read. Sometimes she stared out the window while Zayan organized books. They didn't talk much at first. But silence can be a beautiful thing when shared with the right person. Over time, their silence turned into small conversations. How was your day? Are you sleeping better now? Did you eat anything today? Simple questions, yet they felt like bandages on her wounded heart. One evening, when she dropped a book and bent to pick it up, Zayan noticed the faded photo that slipped out of her bag. Her and Haider, smiling, happy, unaware of the ending waiting ahead. Rania froze, embarrassed. She expected pity, maybe curiosity, but Zayan only picked up the photo and handed it back to her without a single question. "It must have meant something," he said softly. "Some things are worth keeping, even when they hurt." His words felt like a warm blanket wrapped around her heart. But healing is slow, and life always tests a healing heart. One night, Rania received a message she thought she would never see again. It was from Haider. "I'm in town. Can we talk?" Her hands went cold. Part of her heart ached, part of her panicked, and part of her wondered why she still felt something at all. When she told Zayan the next day, his face didn't change. He didn't ask her not to go. He didn't ask her to forget. He only said, "Do whatever helps you move forward. I'll be here." And somehow, those simple words made her feel steadier. That evening, Rania met Haider at a small cafe. He looked different, tired, regretful, and carrying a sadness she didn't expect. He told her he made a mistake, that he missed her, that he wanted to start again. For a moment, her heart squeezed painfully. She remembered all the beautiful days, but she also remembered the lonely nights, the doubts, the slow breaking. She looked at him and realized something important. She wasn't the same Rania who once begged for his love. "I'm not angry anymore," she said quietly. "But I can't go back to a place I fought so hard to leave." Haider lowered his eyes. He didn't fight. He didn't beg. Maybe he knew he had already lost her long before that meeting. When Rania walked out of the cafe, she felt lighter, not because she had forgotten him, but because she had finally forgiven herself. The night was cold, but she wasn't shivering anymore. Step by step, she walked back to the bookstore. The lights inside were still on. Zayan was closing up, but when he saw her outside, he unlocked the door again. She stood there silently, unsure what to say. Zayan didn't rush her. He simply asked, Are you okay? For the first time in a long time, her answer felt honest. I think I will be. She stepped inside. There were no dramatic confessions, no sudden declarations. Zayan didn't reach for her hand, and she didn't fall into his arms. They just stood there, two people with tired hearts, sharing a warm, quiet moment. Sometimes love doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives gently, like a soft voice asking if you've eaten, like a warm drink on a cold day, like someone who waits for you to be ready. Rania didn't know what the future held. She didn't know if this was love or the beginning of something beautiful. All she knew was that when Zayan smiled at her that night, her heart didn't hurt anymore. And maybe, that was enough for now.